The hills are alive with the sound of coyotes. Not the animal, it's the crackling thunder of a 5.0-liter Coyote V8 that's shattering the silence here as riders take turns exploring Malibu in Ford's newest Mustang. Tearing up and down canyon roads, along Pacific Coast Highway and back again, in a parade of multicolored coupes, one thing is immediately clear: the 2018 Ford Mustang is still a riot. Starting off the day in the Mustang GT is absolutely the way to go because its engine is such a gem. The V8 may still be called Coyote, but it's not quite the same mill as before. The cylinder bore has increased a bit, thanks to new plasma sprayed bores that obviate the need for liners, so the precise displacement number rises from 4.96 to 5.04 liters. Port fueling joins direct injection, with a total of 16 injectors under hood. The red line climbs by 500 RPM to a lofty 7,500, the cylinder heads, crankshaft, and connecting rods are new, and a composite oil pan saves 2.2 pounds of mass. The result is simply glorious. From barely above idle all the way to its red line, the V8 pulls instantly and eagerly, with snappy throttle response that makes mid-corner corrections a treat. With so much mid-range shove, it's completely forgivable to short shift way below the 7,000 RPM power peak. Oh, and it's loud. Leave the $895 active exhaust in track mode to induce equal measures of grins and tinnitus. The engine thunders and barks and rumbles like the best muscle cars of all time. That exhaust, by the way, is an absolute must-have option. Leave it in the normal or neighbor pacifying quiet modes, and the V8 whispers so quietly you'd barely notice it on a long road trip. But crank up sport or track mode and it sounds like you're at the wheel of a bona fide race car. Equipped with its new 10-speed automatic transmission, the Mustang GT is plenty quick off the line and easily settles down into a low RPM cruise at speed. In fact, Ford says the dash to 60 miles per hour will take you less than 4 seconds when you get that gearbox. Enthusiastic driving occasionally surprises the 10-speed as it hunts for the next gear you'll want, so use the sport transmission mode and, better still, the shift paddles for optimum results. For my money, I'd stick with the 6-speed manual. Redesigned this year with a new dual-mass flywheel and larger synchronizers, it balances on the knife edge of mechanical heft and slickness. Precise throws enable 2-finger gear changes time and time again, and with no automatic rev matching feature, it forces you to stay engaged with the action. You might expect that the base Mustang EcoBoost would be a disappointment in comparison, but it's not. The turbocharged 2.3-liter inline-4 still has 310 HP, but this year torque swells from 320 to 350 pound-feet. That bump comes courtesy of lessons learned programming the overboost mode in the Focus Rs, with which the Mustang's engine block is shared. With that torque peak delivered at 3,000 RPM, there's a meaty mid-range that makes the EcoBoost feel plenty quick. It starts to run out of steam past its 5,500 RPM horsepower peak, but ride the middle of the tachometer and you'll never complain that this is just a 4-cylinder Mustang. The sprint to 60 takes under 5 seconds with the 10-speed automatic, Ford promises. The only disappointment about the engine, it sounds pedestrian compared to the GT's bellow. As well as its far improved fuel economy ratings, one big advantage to the EcoBoost engine is its lightness. Manual transmission models are 162 pounds lighter than the GT manual, and with most of that weight loss coming from the front of the car, it's really noticeable on canyon roads. The EcoBoost points into corners more eagerly and darts out of them handily, its steering quick and true. The effect is to make the 4-cylinder Mustang feel smaller than the V8. In fact, the EcoBoost feels like the car to have if you really enjoy corner carving. There's already more than enough power to get into trouble on a winding road, yet with the $2,495 performance package equipped, all the chassis and braking capability you could want. A limited slip differential noticeably tightens my line when I throttle out of hairpin bends, while the 4-piston front brake calipers satisfy with firm, precise feel through the left pedal. That's not to say the GT isn't a performance machine. Its performance package goes even further, with Brembo 6-piston front brakes and extremely sticky Michelin Pilot Sport 4 rubber. Buttoned down with minimal body roll, it devours high-speed corners, taking advantage of all the accelerative force on offer from the V8. On open roads with sweeping bends, the GT flies. Perhaps the greatest praise of all must go to the MagneRide dampers, a $1,695 option on cars with the performance package. Supplier BWI Group started tuning the dampers for the 2018 Mustang 2 years ago, after finishing them for the Shelby GT350, and the work pays huge dividends in every driving scenario. 1000 times per second, an electronic controller factors in dozens of variables: steering angle change, wheel positions, braking forces, etc., and changes the viscosity of the magnetorheological fluids in each damper. Darren Dellinger, BWI Group Marketing Manager, says the fluid can change consistency anywhere from the slickness of zero-weight engine oil to the thickness of peanut butter. What that means is that left in the normal drive mode, the Mustang glides over imperfect roads, while in sport or track it resists body motions like the best performance cars. The ride is never harsh, yet the car corners like a champion, all thanks to the flexibility of the magnetic suspension. There's even special tuning in drag strip mode, which adjusts the shocks specifically to improve traction in hard launches. Seeing the 2018 Ford Mustang under the California sun provides a much better impression than when it debuted under the glare of auto show lamps. A minor update: the squintier headlights, larger grille, and various other styling nip-tucks nevertheless are easily noticeable on the road. All Mustangs now have full LED illumination as standard, and a Skittles-like color palette delights with options like Orange Fury and a fabulous Royal Crimson. The cars look great. And if you don't like the big new rear wing of the Performance Pack variants, you can opt to delete it. Changes inside are a little less noticeable, with many of the same retro-inspired details dotting the cabin. It's a nice place to spend time, however, with good sight lines out over the hood and to the sides, the latest version of the Sync 3 infotainment system, and comfortable seats, though the long clutch throw requires a somewhat closed seating position. The trunk is spacious, with a reasonably useful opening and a pass-through when you fold the back seats, and while the rear seats are not commodious, they can at least feasibly be used for carrying real live adults. Buyers will also appreciate that fuel economy figures have improved, thanks to the 10-speed auto and better aerodynamics. With the EcoBoost and the automatic, the car now returns as much as 21 miles per gallon city and 31 highway. The GT Auto is up 1 mpg in each rating to 16 city and 25 mpg highway. Both engines require premium fuel, of course. Improved fuel economy is very good news, because you'll want to drive the 2018 Mustang as much as possible. It's perfectly civilized when I sit in traffic and hugely exciting when I turn onto canyon roads. Both engines deliver gobs of performance, and the chassis, especially with the performance package, boasts sports car capability. The new Mustang's greatest achievement is that it offers even broader possibilities than before. Power is up at the same time as fuel economy increases. The MagneRide dampers improve both handling and ride quality. There's even more technology to make everyday driving simpler. Couple that with the fact that the basic package rear-wheel drive fun in a stylish coupe package is unchanged, and it's clear the 2018 Mustang is a winner. Bring on those summer road trips.